Electroneum offers a new way to earn, send, and pay using blockchain technology. And with me is CEO and founder Richard Ells. And we've talked before, Richard. It is great to see you again and get an update on how Electroneum is doing.
Thank you for having me on again, Jane. It's always a pleasure to see you. Yeah, thanks. Electroneum's always crazy busy at the office. Yeah, pleasure to give you an update.
Now, we have talked a little bit about AnyTask. So, and you've really achieved quite a bit there in 8 months, right? It's just been going on for 8 months. So explain AnyTask and what kind of progress, what's happening with that part of the business.
Yeah, cool. Well, if anybody's watching or listening, you must go and check it out. It's called anytask.com, and it's a freelance platform similar to kind of Fiverr or Upwork or that type of thing. It's really easy to use. There's no bidding or anything. You just see what you like and you hit buy. But it's been attempted a couple of times before with cryptocurrency being behind it, but it's never, ever succeeded. There's been a couple of hundred people using it or whatever, and this has gone mad. There's now more than 25,000 tasks listed on the platform. And 570,000 registered users. So it's just, it's going from strength to strength. There's been a few things that really made that happen. Partly it's because we've got Electroneum, the payment network at the back end, powering all outbound payments. So everyone who's operating as a seller, they have this great new way to be paid that's cryptocurrency. So, it's not Bitcoin, but it'd enable you to buy some Bitcoin, or it'd enable you to jump around in that crypto world. But more importantly, perhaps for our sellers, is we've hooked in with loads of mobile operators, so you can buy airtime with it, you can buy data, which of course you run your little business from, you can buy electricity, you can buy foods, medicines, all sorts of other stuff, or in a lot of places convert it out to local currency. So it's just a sort of a great new way to earn, I suppose.
Well, and I took a look around at AnyTask, and there were graphic designers on there, and people could help you with workout. I mean, it was just a ton of different stuff, and it gives people an opportunity to make some money and work on a global scale. So it was really, what kind of testimonials do you hear from the sellers and the buyers?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been it's been a wonderful thing to experience, actually, because we're doing something. There's a number of freelance platforms out there in the world, but we are the only one that really empowers this whole billion people of the unbanked or underbanked. So most platforms, if not all platforms, pay out with PayPal or something along those lines using traditional banking. And our platform, because it's been freed up by using Electroneum, appeals to people that have those incredible skills, but often PayPal isn't available in their country, for instance, or the costs may be prohibitive, etc. So we've opened up this whole new world of people. And so the messages we're getting from the sellers have been, oh my gosh, you're changing my whole future. You're giving us hope for the future. Just all sorts of really incredible sentiment coming from sellers, which is really a great thing for us and the team to hear. And then at the same time, we've got these buyer testimonials, which I've been really pleased to see. You can see all these, by the way, on news.anytask.com. But the buyers have been saying, gosh, we kind of thought, if we're buying from the unbanked, is it going to be rubbish? And that was a rational fear to have, even though we've got a sort of money back guarantee or payment protection. But as it turns out, we're not getting that. These people are so keen and so passionate to deliver really good quality that actually we've had a lot of testimonials coming back now saying the price is way lower than every other freelance platform and the quality is higher than other freelance platforms. So we've got this sort of this great alignment of the planets, shall we say, where we've got the best of all worlds. So yeah, we're riding the bull at the moment in this thing. It's a sort of a boulder running downhill, and we're chasing behind.
Well, that's a good position to be in. It's it's better than standing around and waiting for something to happen.
No, we're not having any of that. There's no standing or sleeping or any of those things.
Okay. Well, now I understand also you either have or are going to expand the mobile airtime and the data top user. Like, explain that and where you are with that.
Yeah, so there's always, I mean, that's just ongoing all the time. And you can use data and airtime in over 140 countries, but there's constantly some coming on, some coming off all the time. We've got at least 13, I think, new providers that enable electricity top up. We've got 700 odd stores that are just coming on to enable food and medicines. We've got a pay TV network coming on. One of the things that people miss maybe about the unbanked, people think of the unbanked as perhaps sitting in a mud hut, and it's a totally incorrect way of looking at it. Bear in mind there are millions, I think, of unbanked in the United States. So people that have less access to the banking facilities of the world are overlooked as a market. And yet when they do have some free money or value that they want to spend, they don't have an outlet for it, don't have a Visa card, don't have Apple Pay. So by having Electroneum at the back end, actually what we're doing is we're expanding out a whole new massive market.
Okay, very interesting. And speaking of the ETN ecosystem, I mean, what is the recent addition of LockTrip? Explain that, update us on that and how that fits in.
Yeah, well, we're seeing a number of people adopting Electroneum. I think that, we're constantly out on TV shows and podcasts and being interviewed and things, which is wonderful. The fact that we are embracing a regulatory system, so rather than trying to be outside on the fringe, we are going straight in there saying, no, Electroneum is going to be the cryptocurrency that embraces regulation, KYC, AML, all the stuff that kind of the banks do, but we're doing it in a way with cryptocurrency. So we are the natural choice to adopt, and we've got a lot of users as well, which encourages people into the platform. So we've seen people like LockTrip come on board. I mean, that's an exciting one. If you've ever been to hotels.com or any of those type of places, LockTrip is cheaper and just as good. So it's just perhaps not as well known, but if you go and have a look at it, it's got some amazing deals on things like accommodation and transport. Of course, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So from their point of view, of course, crypto opens up a whole new market. And from our point of view, they're a great partner. That opens up a huge amount of people that can make use of that Electroneum in a new way. So that's nice. I mean, they're mostly in the sort of developed world, to be fair, rather than the unbanked world. But the more people that adopt, the more we've got this sort of ball rolling. And we've just seen another one, or I'm not sure if I'm letting this cat out of the bag a little early, actually, but we've got...
Are you breaking some news?
Yeah, I might be accidentally. We've got a whole, in a country, I won't name the country then perhaps, but we've got a whole load of cash points where the company's nothing. We're not doing it directly, but people have adopted ETN within their app to enable people to swap for their token and cash out through cash points. And there's all sorts of things going on like that, where people are just seeing the project and going, oh, actually, you know what, this is a great project to work with. It expands our horizons. And all the time we're growing that sort of use case for consumptive use of crypto, rather than it just being this speculative asset that people kind of see Bitcoin as at the moment.
Well, that's right. And I think, once the masses figure out there is an application for it, that is maybe going to unlock a lot of things, especially considering kind of the chaos the world is in. But okay, so Richard, in gaming, you're getting into gaming too. Boy, that is a really hot area. So how are you playing in that space?
Yeah, well, again, I mean, it's a space, funnily enough, that right at the very beginning, that's how we saw our route to market. It didn't work out that way in the end, just because the viral growth in the unbanked usage was just immense. So that's where we focused our attention, but it's never really left our focus altogether. So we saw it's been sort of trickling away in the background, and now we're starting to see some games adopt ETN for the same reason. I mean, anything that's a digital service. So when I say pay TV, you don't really care where your audience is, you just want subscriptions. And for gaming, there is no better example. The people that are underbanked or unbanked around the world, their youngsters still want to play Fortnite. They still want to play these games. And so you are opening up a massive new market by accepting ETN. I mean, by accepting any cryptocurrency as it happens, but ETN happens to have a ready-made market. So we're seeing some of these games adopt ETN because it's something else that these people can do with their earnings, and as such, it grows both projects, helps them grow, helps us grow. So there's a great symbiosis with gaming companies, and I suspect to see a lot more coming in 2020. in that.
Okay. Well, you said you were busy. Now I see why. So, Richard, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for bringing us up to date on Electronium.
You are most welcome. Nice to talk to you again.